time the Vikings, we got a 14-2 matchup tonight on Sunday Night Football. You know, tonight, really the only thing, when Tampa Bay took care of their business, they beat New Orleans, to put this game into a situation where if the Rams win, they're the 3. If they lose, which they ultimately did, 30-25 to the Seahawks, they're the 4. And Sean McVey clearly did not care. Right. Sean McVay clearly had made the decision that the 3 or the 4 was not meaningful to him because he did not wait until the outcome of that game to decide whether or not guys are going to play. He decided long before that most of his starters, especially on offense, were not going to go. So he was comfortable playing the NFC North, the Lions, or the Minnesota Vikings. Yep. Do you agree with that decision? Do you agree with the idea? Because they would have played the Washington Commanders otherwise. And the Commanders are a good football team, but they have a rookie quarterback. This is their first time in the playoffs in quite some time. Do you agree with the decision-making process?
Yeah, I agree with the decision because you feel like no matter who you go up against, you're going to have your best weapons available to you.
Yeah.
And that's really all that matters. Are we saying that the Rams can't compete with any team in the NFC? I think if you give me one Sunday and Sean McVay being able to scheme up the way that this team is playing right now, I would love that. I would take on any team in the NFC. I don't care if it's Detroit, Minnesota, Philadelphia, or even Tampa Bay. I like the Rams' chances, especially the first week playing at home. That's the one that, to me, that's what it's all about. I get it. You say, well, I mean, you could have played the Commanders, and you're saying, look, for some reason, I don't play with the football gods like that.
Yeah,
I don't play with my food like that.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you go out and Sean McVay tried to win this football game while trying to keep some players healthy and available for next week, which is the bigger prize. And the thing about it, going to a Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl, guess what? It ain't going to be easy.
No, you're going to have to beat good teams.
You're going to have to beat a good team. And why not start it off by beating a good football team? Because that's only going to give you confidence going throughout.
I was just going to say, the momentum that could come along with winning a game like that, winning a game where, look, we'll see what the line is by the time that the game ends in Detroit tonight. I would imagine that the Rams will be underdogs to some degree.
I agree.
Who knows what that number will be. But coming into a game, you're at home, like you said, an underdog situation, you win it, and then who knows how the rest of the playoffs shake out. But at that point, it is, kind of all hands on deck, and it's just you just need to win one more, and you're on the precipice of going back to the Super Bowl again.
I mean, we've been here before. The last time the Rams were a 4 seed, they won a Super Bowl. So let's just put that in perspective. The Rams were the 4 seed a couple years ago.
And played the NFC Championship game at home.
The 49ers were the 7th seed.
Yep.
They go in as a 7th seed. They beat up the Green Bay Packers. Remember? They beat the Cowboys, who were the 2. Okay?
Yep.
Then the 49ers had to go to Dallas.
Green Bay.
No, go to Green Bay. I'm sorry. They beat Dallas first. Then they go to Green Bay. They won. The Rams, they opened up at home. They beat Arizona on a Monday night. Then they had to go play Tom
Tampa.
Brady to
Love
Tampa.
Of the game route. Cooper Kupp in the middle, covered 0.
Think of that.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they're a 4 seed playing at home for a conference championship game. The football gods will take care of it. Just let it play well. Just do what you're supposed to do. You can't play, I'd rather play this team, and let's lose so we can play this team. No. I want whoever's in front of us, as long as we're healthy, and that's where I think the Rams are at right now.
And the Rams respected the football gods today because you saw that performance. They played hard. They didn't win the game, but Jimmy Garoppolo had a day. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about what we saw from the Rams' backup quarterback. We'll continue to talk about all of the NFL playoff matchups as Week 18 comes to a close with the Rams losing to the Seahawks 30-25. Up next, an NFC wildcard game at SoFi Stadium between the Rams and either the Minnesota Vikings or the Detroit Lions. It depends on who loses that game coming up tonight. That's all straight ahead on the Rams Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Fans, welcome to another game day at the Gridiron. After seeing your beautiful automobiles at the tailgate, we're calling an audible so you can save on gas. That's right, Rams fans score big on game days. Save 35 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. That's a touchdown for the tailgate. Download the Shell app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and fill up with the official fuel of the Los Angeles Rams. Restrictions apply. Limited time at participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com/Rams.
These abs, these eyes, my buys and tries. New year, same me. Time to hit the marketplace. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Brian McKnight, live February 14th.
Number 2.
Morongo pays you more. Our progressive jackpots are over $680,000.
And the number 1 reason.
Get tickets for the big game blitz now. Big screens, great drinks, great food, big fun.
Morongo, good times.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. At Los Angeles International Airport, changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. The LAX Economy parking structure is now open with thousands of smart parking spaces, as well as hundreds of EV charging stations. Modernized terminals have biometric gates for faster boarding, and in the future, the People Mover train will connect travelers to LA Metro. For more information, go to their website, flylax.com/transforminglax. That's flylax.com/transforminglax.
Los Angeles, your Rams are the 2024 NFC West champions. If you missed out on any action this past season, don't make the same mistake and clinch your spot in the Rams house for the 2025 season. With Rams season tickets, enjoy home playoff ticket access, interest-free monthly payment plans, and stadium event pre-sale access. To experience the energy at SoFi Stadium and all these benefits, visit therams.com/2025. Again, that is therams.com/2025. Secure your Rams season tickets and don't miss out on any of the action right here at the Rams house.
Game day means food, friends, and your LA Rams. Don't stress over the spread. Let Vons or Albertsons be your personal game day coach. Our deli is loaded with touchdown-worthy eats. From crispy golden fried chicken to wings and sandwiches, we've got you covered. Craving chips and guacamole? We've got that too. Order online and pick up your game day feast for free when you spend $30 or more. It's easy, it's convenient, and it's the winning play for your party. Albertsons and Vons, official grocery partner of the Los Angeles Rams.
Hey, it's me, your heart valve. The blood flowy thing in your heart. Ooh, hear that? The whole stadium's cheering for heart valve screenings? Detecting heart valve disease is super important, especially if you're over 65. It's deadly if you don't treat it. That's right. Boo! Heart valve disease! Boo! Good news is, early detection saves lives. Go to listentoyourvalves.com and get screened for heart valve disease. Oh, and go Rams!
Yeah, you can hear every moment of Rams football in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app. Just tap that Rams game day tile, and bam! You got it in the palm of your hand. This is the Rams Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play. We react right now on the Rams Postgame Show. Once again, from Hollywood Park Casino, back to Travis and Kirk.
All right, that's a wrap on the Rams 2024 regular season. They lose to the Seattle Seahawks 30-25, sitting most of their starters today. They are the number 4 seed in the NFC. They will take on the loser of tonight's Sunday Night Football game in Detroit between the Lions and the Vikings. Of course, they had played both of those teams earlier this year, lost in Week 1 in overtime to the Lions in Detroit, beat Minnesota on a Thursday night here at SoFi Stadium. And Kirk, the little bit of bad news, you just mentioned to me a second ago, it's being reported that Blake Corum fractured his forearm early in the game today. He will not be available for the playoffs. So Blake Corum out per Sean McVey. And this is exactly why you sit guys and you know, you got to play somebody. And I don't mean that with any disrespect to Blake Corum, obviously, but the NFL is a very violent, physical game, and stuff happens, and Blake Corum, unfortunately, is a perfect example of it.
Yeah, I mean, he was your backup running back, but you wanted to get him some totes.
Sure.
You wanted to get him more acclimated. He hasn't been your bell cow, so this was a game where you get him, 10 to 15 touches and get him ready and primed for being able to spell next week. Kyron Williams at times got injured today. Saw him with a sling on the sideline. I said, it's never really It's never good to see a player in a sling.
No.
And to see he had the sling on, it was just a bad situation, and now we know what it is. He's fractured his forearm. It's done for the season, man. That's tough. Done for the playoffs.
It's a tough break. In
Real
rookie
tough.
season, I think, maybe didn't get the carries that maybe he was hoping for, but when he did get opportunities, I thought that he played pretty well, but it comes to an end. If I'm looking for a silver lining here, Kirk, and I'm squinting a little bit to find one, Ronnie Rivers carried the ball 12 times today. Probably would not have gotten those 12 carries without Blake Corum getting injured the way that he did. He had 48 yards, but I kind of want to pull back a little bit here and talk about the way that the Rams played, and I think Ronnie Rivers is a good example of this, is that even though these guys that may be depth pieces, that may be second, and sometimes in Ronnie Rivers' case, maybe even a third stringer or a special teams player, he was ready to play today.
He was ready.
The Rams play hard, regardless of the situation. They were not playing their guys. They were prepared. They were competitive. They were tough. They were physical. And I think Ronnie Rivers is a good example of that, stepping in for Blake Corum. He had a pretty good day. 12 carries, 48 yards. For a guy that hadn't got to play and touch the football very much, I thought he stepped up.
Oh, he did what the Rams were expecting from Blake Corum had he not got injured. So to see Ronnie Rivers spell in there, and he was the Rams' backup running back for a majority of the year before they started to give the ball to Blake Corum at times. So not surprising that Ronnie Rivers was productive in that. Also, you saw Cody Schrader now, who's going to get elevated now. He had 1 carry for 3 yards, but he made his 1 catch for 6 yards. So he may be a third guy that you will see come next week as well. So just a little bit of bad luck, bad news for the Rams. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think you mentioned the depth that this team has and the next man up mentality is what you're going to see from that running back position come next week.
I know that obviously you and I are both big Sean McVey fans. We talk about him every single week and the job that he did this year, last year. He's taken a team to the Super Bowl twice. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach, all these things. But I really do think there's a lot to be said and a lot to be learned for the way he runs, not just a game, not just by calling this player that, but the way he runs the culture of the organization by what you saw today. This was a game that more or less was not particularly meaningful for the Rams, and they went out there and they played hard. A head coach that has the respect of his players, the attention of his players, can get guys to go out there in a day like today and put together what was – that looked like a real NFL game. That did not look like hey, let's just get the heck out of here and move on to the next one. They competed to the very end. Jimmy Garoppolo, I thought, for his first real action of the season, was terrific for the most part. I think the great deal of credit for that goes to the head coach.
Yeah, it goes to the head coach. It goes to him because he preached, hey, look, guys – we know that there's a bigger prize ahead of us, but we still got to respect what today is all about. If you got a uniform on, I want your best because it's going to help us toward next week. I mentioned before I'm a Dan Campbell fan. I thought that last week the Detroit Lions did themselves a good solid by playing hard against the 49ers, which gave them momentum in beating the Niners at Sunday night at home for all the marbles versus the Minnesota Vikings. You've got momentum. And I think the Rams, the way they played today, with a lot of backups, Jimmy Garoppolo having the day that he did, and everybody's still available for you for next week. That's the part that I think helps out the Rams. And you feel confident the way that Sean McVey has done it, that everybody knows that, hey, we've got a shot next week.
How about this? Jimmy Garoppolo had his first action of the season. He was 27 to 41. He threw for 334 yards, pair of touchdowns. He didn't throw an interception on a play that you pointed out to me. Nice little disguise that Seattle was able to put in there. That 334 yards, that's the biggest number of the season for a Rams quarterback. That's more yards than Matthew Stafford had thrown for any game so far this season.
That's Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what he's brought in for.
Yeah.
Not to be a guy who's going to throw for all those yards, but a guy who was going to come in and just make the plays that were needed. He did that. He made plays. Just needed him to make one more play. I wish I would have loved that he would have been able to, throw that a little bit to someone else maybe, or 4th and 3. I need 3 yards. If it's not there, go run and kind of extend a little bit. So I didn't really like the play call there. Thought they could have did something else, but neither here nor there. Jimmy Garoppolo did what he was supposed to do. He looked like an adequate quarterback. And look, you knock on wood and you say anything happens on this playoff run to Matthew Stafford, at least you have someone who knows how to run the offense, who knows how to handle himself under pressure, but then more so knows how to be able to lead the guys. And I saw him lead the guys.
He's a pro.
Yeah, he ran that 2-minute drill to get the Rams set up inside that, the 10-yard line. You got a 4th and 3 that you to win the game. To me, that's leadership. That's experience.
It's a professional quarterback who, if you have to go to, you feel like you can still do the majority of the things that you want to do. Your phone calls coming up, 877-710-ESPN. That's 877-710-3776. Plus, we'll hear from the head coach, Sean McVey. That is all coming up on the Rams Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
The best holiday plans come from the back seat.
I want a hot chocolate.
I want to go sledding.
Mom, play our holiday playlist.
Yeah, play it.
Enjoy safe family trips this season. Sign and drive on select Volvo SUVs during the Holiday Safely sales event. Visit your Southern California Volvo retailers today to learn more.
The biggest show on the radio.
Mason and Ireland weekdays at noon
So I'm going to be with my in-laws down in La Jolla. They do not have Netflix.
Do you have a Netflix account?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it on your phone.
Is that it?
Or your laptop. Or your laptop.
Can I get it on the TV? I want to watch it on TV. Can I not get it on TV?
It might be tough to AirPlay it, but
you can screen mirror it.
Yeah, screen mirror. Yeah.
They're super smart people, so way smarter than me. Like, I always feel so out of place. Like, how did I get into this house?
Well, if you don't know how to use Netflix on your computer, then you shouldn't belong in that house.
So I can get Netflix on my computer too?
Yeah, it's an app.
Have you been under the impression that the only way you could ever watch Netflix is your TV in your house?
I'll be honest. Yes.
Steve Mason and John Ireland, tomorrow at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
Sail with Princess Cruises, the original love boat and official partner of the LA Rams, and enjoy your vacation like never before. You'll love the friendly crew. You'll love sailing to top destinations from your backyard. You'll love the world-class dining and entertainment. And you'll love getting away from it all as you get closer to the ones you love. Come aboard. They're expecting you. Princess Cruises, LA's hometown cruise line.
Score your exclusive offer at princess.com/Rams.
Healthcare is full of questions, and for over 80 years, Quidel Ortho has delivered answers. From one season to the next, healthcare teams around the country have trusted our medical diagnostics expertise to help them make winning decisions for their patients. From home to hospital, lab to clinic, we are a key player on patients' medical teams. And here in LA, we are proud to be an official partner of the Los Angeles Rams. Quidel Ortho, changing lives one test at a time. Learn more at QuidelOrtho.com.
It's the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Every weekday morning at 9 a.m.
I got Uggs.
Me too.
Yeah.
But we can't rock them anymore.
I wear them all the time.
Do you really?
I mean, once it gets cold, they're boots, so they're kind of warm.
You wear them out in public, loud and proud.
Yeah, they're
okay.
boots.
Uggs all of a sudden became like not cool for guys to wear.
Why?
I don't know.
Tom Brady
I thought Tom
wears
Brady
Uggs.
brought them back. That's what I said.
It's Trav and D-Far.
Back tomorrow morning after Greeny on LA's mega sports station, 710 ESPN.
This is Rams football on 710 ESPN. We'll react tomorrow. A Monster Monday, a Rams Reaction Monday. The 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block begins at 9 a.m. on 710 ESPN. This is the Rams Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play. We react right now on the Rams Postgame Show, once again from Hollywood Park Casino. Back to Travis and Kirk.
Rams final game of the regular season, 30-25 is the final score. The Seahawks pick up their 10th win of the season. Both these teams finish 10-6. The Rams clinched the division a week ago by the strength of victory determinant, Kirk. So the Rams advance to take on the loser of the Minnesota-Detroit game that is taking place. That game will kick off in about 45 minutes or so.
Sorry to stop you for a second.
Yes, please.
But here we are, obviously at the Hollywood Park Casino, watching all the fans and everybody. They're coming in, getting ready to enjoy themselves, listening to the show and all that. I just saw the Jimmy Garoppolo Eastern Illinois jersey, number 10. There were a lot of Garoppolo jerseys out there.
There were a lot of Garoppolo jerseys.
I mean, honestly, was it for his game on the field or the game off the field? I don't know.
And look, the man's got a look. What are you going to say? He's got the right look.
That was pretty cool. That's the first time I've ever seen the Jimmy Garoppolo Eastern Illinois Panther jersey.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
The Garoppolo Eastern Illinois jersey or the Jared Goff Marin Catholic High School jersey.
Okay, that's the one. The Marin Catholic jersey is actually one I've seen a lot of.
You've been seeing it.
I've been seeing it, man. Like, obviously, I'm from the Bay Area, so a lot of people, Marin Catholic jersey. One of the actual Miami Dolphins players, as a gift to all of his teammates, gifted all of his teammates.
I saw that, Kirk.
Their
that
high
was
school jersey.
Awesome.
And if you fast forward to that video, young guy of mine, Javon Holland, had the Bishop O'Dowd number 3 jersey. So we got all excited because, it was one of the jerseys that we seen and we're like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Man,
I still have mine, but I know it's
I wish I did. I was smart enough to steal a jersey from my college team.
Okay.
I did not take the one from the high school team. I should have done
And you
that.
think about it now, like I should. Like,
oh, heck yeah.
I blood, sweat, tears in those things, man.
Absolutely. And they're arguably the most fun you're ever going to have. All right, so let's talk about some of these playoff matchups that we're going to have right here in the NFC. We're still waiting to find out exactly who the number 1 seed is going to be. It's going to be Detroit or Minnesota. They will get the bye. The number 2 game is going to have the Philadelphia Eagles against the Green Bay Packers. The Packers finished the season as the 7th seed.
Right.
Green Bay's got to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's how the season started.
Yep.
This time
that's right, in Brazil.
Yeah, this time
Holy
it'll be on
smoke,
U.S.
right.
territory, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, yeah. So, look, they did it over in Brazil, and that was a game, I believe, that was won by the Eagles in Week 1.
Yep.
And I think, Jordan
Love
Love got hurt.
Yeah.
Look how long ago. I feel like it was forever ago. So, great matchup. Jordan Love got hurt a little bit today, banged up, but he said he'll be ready to go. Philadelphia Eagles are number 2 seed. Jalen Hurts, we'll see what his status looks like. Remember, he's missed the last 2 games with the concussion.
Yep.
Saquon Barkley rested today, and we'll see because you had a lot of chatter coming out of Philadelphia throughout the season, especially that end part. Now we get to the playoffs. I want to see which team is gelling. It's going to be a fun matchup.
Well, Nick Sirianni nearly got fired in the early part of the season. I mean, that feels
Sure
like
did.
a lifetime ago.
Well, he was fighting with fans.
And they're the number 2 seed and arguably maybe the team that is most complete heading into the playoffs right now. Could Green Bay go in there and win that game, do you think?
I mean, why can't they?
Yeah.
You tell me. Last year they went to Dallas and curve stomped the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, that was probably one of the worst losses we've ever seen from the Dallas Cowboys. That was one in which we're still trying to figure out how did Mike McCarthy survive that to be the coach this year.
Yeah.
Because there was no – I mean,
Mike McCarthy might be back next year, too.
I mean, I still don't understand what happened. Green Bay went in there and literally stomped them, and yet Dan Quinn got the job in Washington, as the head coach. It's just one of those things, man. 1 game elimination, 1 game scenario. That's what we're going to see right now.
And then the other game in the NFC, Tampa will be hosting the Washington Commanders. The Commanders, the number 16, the team that the Rams would have played today had they been able to beat the Seahawks.
That's sounding real Monday nightish.
Doesn't that? That feels
feels Monday nightish, huh?
And Washington comes in as a 12-win wild card team going up against a 10-win division champion. Stop me if you've heard that before, because there's going to be a 14-win wild card team coming to SoFi Stadium to take on a 10-win division champion.
I say that feels real Monday nightish.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that's Monday nightish. I'm thinking Rams and whoever they're going against. I think that's prime time Sunday night. And then maybe you get the mid-afternoon on Sunday. Seems to be like an
Here's
Eagles
all I know
Packers.
for sure. The Houston's playing first on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
That's
sure.
like an NFL bylaw.
It's done. Yeah. They just go ahead and give us the press release. We're ready for that one. And then Saturday night, I feel like really feels like a Chargers Ravens. You know what I mean?
Well, the Chargers would take on. Did the Chargers lose?
They won today.
Okay, so the Chargers take on the Texans.
Oh, Chargers take. Oh, they did.
Yeah,
they won.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's the first game. Yeah.
So that's the first one. Then you're going to get
Bengals, Ravens again. I'm sorry, not Bengals. Ravens, Steelers again.
Ravens, Steelers again.
Again.
That's the one that you're going to get. The Ravens, Steelers again, and that's
Saturday night. I'm telling you,
that felt like a mismatch. Watching that a couple of weeks ago, that just feels like a team that's playing at its best in Baltimore and a team that's really struggling right now with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, now I have my chart up. Oh, I do. I have my chart up. You're right. I think Buffalo, Denver. That's your early game Sunday.
You think that's the early Sunday?
Just the eyeballs. That's your early game Sunday. Let's do that one on Sunday. Mid-afternoon, a lot of people, a lot of eyeballs. To me, that's Seattle. I mean, that's Philadelphia.
Yep.
And Green Bay. The nightcap, Sunday Night Football, Rams versus whoever loses tonight's game, or it could flip-flop. You know what I mean? Those 2 games. Those are your late Sunday game.
Those are the
Saturday. I already know what it is. Texans and Chargers started off. Ravens, Steelers on the Saturday night. Yeah.
Feels like there's a lot of teams that could go on the road and win these games. It feels like Green Bay could go win a game.
Correct.
It feels like Washington could win a game. Whoever's coming here to L.A., I think will be favored to win that game. There'll be a 14-team win or a 14-win team going up against a 10-win team. There are going to be a lot of – it's the NFL. It's the playoffs. They're always fun. They're always exciting. And the Rams are in it, and we are going to find out who are they going to play by the end of the night tonight. We should have the schedule in at least the next couple of hours hours here, Kirk.
I think it should be already available, too.
It
Come
should
on
be
now,
out
give it to
pretty
us.
soon, and they'll let us know. We're going to hear from the head coach of the Rams, Sean McVey. That's coming up in a little bit. But we're going to take a look at the draft order and the result of today's final NFL Sunday, Week 18. That's all coming up on the Rams Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Right now, for a limited time only, get 2.49% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson. See your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end January 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
You know that old saying, you can have it fast or you can have it good? When it comes to hiring, ZipRecruiter has put that saying to bed. Because with ZipRecruiter, when you need to hire someone fast, you get them fast and you get the best person for your job. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology immediately starts showing your job to the right candidates. Get in the end zone with ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. That's ZipRecruiter.com/LA.
Hey, Rams fans, we've teamed up with Bloom Ranch to ensure we have the healthiest fans in the league. That's why we're committed to delivering some of the freshest fruits and veggies to your door. And here's the best part. The first 100 boxes are on us. That's right. We're giving away the first 100 boxes. After that, enjoy 30% off on your first box upon signing up at www.bloomranchofacton.com and enter promo code ThankYouRams. There are no fans like Rams fans. Winning and getting healthier together is the real flex. So hurry, this offer won't last forever. Follow Bloom Ranch on IG and share how you're getting healthier using hashtag BloomRamFit.
When a parent sees their child smile, they see hope. Aleem hoped that his son Rajib would have an easier life than he had. You see, Rajib, just like his father, was born with a cleft. But thanks to Smile Train, both father and son received free, life-changing surgeries, transforming their smiles into symbols of hope. To learn more and support the global cleft community, visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Don't forget you can hear every moment of Rams football in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app. Just tap that Rams game day tile, and bam, you got it in the palm of your hand. This is the Rams Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play. We react right now on the Rams Postgame Show, once again from Hollywood Park Casino. Back to Travis and Kirk.
Rams finished the season at 10-7 after a 30-25 loss to the Seattle Seahawks. It puts the Rams in the 4th position in the NFC playoffs. They will play the loser of the Lions and the Vikings tonight. The rest of the NFL playoff field is set after the final Sunday of the regular season. Let's pause 10 seconds before we take a look at that for stations to identify themselves on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Hi, this is Sean McVey of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma Brands radio station.
All right, Kirk, so let's start with this. The Tennessee Titans will pick first in the 2025 NFL Draft after they finish their season 3-14. And I have a hard time imagining the Titans doing anything other than drafting a quarterback. They've been looking for a while, maybe since Ryan Tannehill, who was, average probably on his best day. Titans go quarterback with that number 1 pick, you think?
Yeah, all indications for me that they have to go that position. They've drafted.
Shedeur, is that Cam Ward?
Yeah, they've drafted offensive line, so you've already stocked up on that. Defense, you've added some pieces. I always look at the bigger picture. Bigger picture, right? You know what the bigger picture to me is?
Hit me.
They've got a brand new stadium opening up in a year and a half.
Yeah.
You got to sell some season tickets.
You're not. Will Levis is not going to make people race to the ticket window.
So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying right now. I'm saying what you do is you draft a quarterback and now start handing out the brochures and the pamphlets.
Yeah.
Come May, you're going to draft them at the end of April, and then come May, hey, get ready for 2026 season tickets at our new stadium here in Nashville.
Yeah.
Here with our starting quarterback. Like that's just. It's just too much like right. That's what marketing does. That's what I'm done with the football aspect of it. I'm talking about running it like an owner. And if I'm the owner of the Tennessee Titans, go get me a quarterback. I need this fan base to be excited about something, and that's not going to be a right guard. That's not. I love Travis Hunter, but that's not exciting enough. I need somebody who can pull the trigger.
I don't need a cover corner. I need somebody to put on the front page of the media guide. That's for sure. The scores from Week 18 are brought to you by Moraga Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Let's talk a little bit about the Carolina Panthers right now because they won their final game of the season. They finished 5-12. They won 44-38 against the Atlanta Falcons, and they had a weird way to end their – they were terrible. It felt like, hey, they might only win a game or two, which in the NFL is pretty rare to only win 1 or 2 games. Instead, they end up winning 5. They knocked the Falcons potentially out of the playoffs on that final Sunday, and it feels like the quarterback that looked like a bust a couple of years ago or a year ago has kind of settled into that.
20 minutes ago.
Well, it's certainly a few months ago, right?
Yeah,
for sure. And he's settled in and feels like, okay, that's not something that they have to go address.
I mean, this guy was drafted number 1 overall into a situation that never really felt like he was going to be able to succeed. Then he changed his head coaches, offensive play callers in 1 year, and it didn't happen for him right away. And so the guy who steps in for him is Andy Dalton. And I think the time that he was able to sit down and to think a car accident for Andy Dalton allows the opportunity for Bryce Young to get back in there. And he's shown some of the flashes of what we saw at the University of Alabama. I mean, today's game-winning touchdown in overtime, just showing off what we had expected from him when he came into this league. There's still a lot more room for improvement, but you say at least for another season, we don't have to worry about that position just yet. We need to put more pieces around them. We need to put more offensive linemen around them. They re-signed Chuba Hubbard, so he's going to be on that roster. There's some things to be excited about for the way that they played and the way they finished. They beat a team that thought they were going to the playoffs today at home. They beat Carolina went on the road to Atlanta and took care of business. That's huge going into the offseason. They won, they went 4-5 down the stretch.
Yep.
So they feel like, look, we had a terrible start, but if you look at the second half of our season, much better football team.
Especially in that division where it feels like it's kind of wide open every single year. A game that meant nothing for the Buffalo Bills meant really the opposite for the New England Patriots. The Patriots win 23-16, but that's not really what's interesting about this. The Patriots had a chance today to be at the very top of the draft order. Instead, they finish 4th by winning this game today. The Browns will pick 2nd. The Giants will pick 3rd. The Patriots pick 4th. They finish at 4-13. And the reward for winning that final game of the season not only was dropping in the draft order, they also canned Gerard Mayo immediately after the game.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. One and done. Gerard Mayo got 1 year to be the head coach of the New England Patriots, and he was fired. He'd been a longtime Patriot player, was a longtime Patriot assistant, and was handpicked from Robert Kraft to be the head coach to succeed Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
We know how hard it is to succeed a coach. To be the coach after, one of the greatest coach in NFL history with that roster. Come on, man. We knew you were setting them up for failure, but to have that happen the way that it did, I mean, the dude barely finished up the game, and an hour later he's fired. At least wait till Monday.
Yeah, usually that happens tomorrow morning, not usually right after the game the way that it is. Mike Vrabel ultimately get that job, you think? Former Patriot, experience as an NFL head coach, a quality NFL head coach, somebody that's had success in a place that they're not loaded with winning teams year after year after year. It seems like Mike Vrabel's a pretty easy fit in New England.
Yeah, I don't think he fits in New York. I don't think he fits over in Chicago. And we'll see what availabilities come about tomorrow. But he looks like a Patriots coach, and they kind of want to get back to the structure that Vrabel was around. Vrabel was around from the beginning. Now, Mayo came in that second stint, with Tom Brady, the second half of the Tom Brady years in New England. Vrabel was there from the beginning with a lot of those guys that started, Brewski and Willie McGinnis. You know what I mean? Those types of players. And I think people in the greater New England area, they remember that, and that's why I think he may be the leader in the clubhouse.
The Broncos beat the Chiefs 38-0 on the final Sunday of the regular season. Bo Nix, 321 yards, 4 touchdowns along the way. Kansas City kind of resting all of their guys. Carson Wentz started the game at quarterback there. The Broncos frisky at all going in and taking on their playoff opponent, or is this a classic example of kind of happy to be there? They're probably a year ahead of schedule getting into that playoff picture. Here they are. Denver at all dangerous?
I think, to your point, I think they're a couple years ahead of schedule. Remember, they go into this season very similar to how the Rams came into last season. Hey, look, we owe somebody a lot of money from the prior regime who gave Russell Wilson a ton. So we just hope to go out and compete.
Yeah.
And Sean Payton never said, like, no, we're going to be a good football team. He went with Bo Nix right away, and it turns out Bo Nix led this team to the playoffs this year while still giving Russell Wilson $36 million to play for the Steelers. And then they go him some money next year as well. They've basically erased the Russell Wilson trade just by what they've accomplished this year. Next year, you're like, oh, that's fine, because we found our quarterback. We know what our roster is going to look like. We'll bring in some free agents, but we need the draft. But they got the best corner in the game in Surtain. They got Benito, who was one of the candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. They got the pieces now, and they traded away Jerry Jeudy. Like, this thing is crazy. Sean Payton, man, that was a hell of a job.
You know what it reminds me? It reminds me of the Rams, like you mentioned, that sometimes – I shouldn't say sometimes. Most times.
Right.
Most times teams are going to follow the money. Hey, we just gave this guy this money. We can't get out from underneath this. We have to play him. He makes X millions of dollars. We cannot just move on from this. We can't admit we made a mistake and this doesn't work. You know who doesn't do that? Sean Payton didn't do that with Russell Wilson. You know who else didn't do that? The Rams, with a handful of different guys. When it's time to move on, they move on. Just because we gave this person money doesn't mean that they have to play. The reason Bo Limmer is starting is not because he makes all the money. It's because he was the better fit at center, despite being a seventh-round rookie, despite Jonah Jackson being the guy that they did give money to in the offseason. Play the guys that give you the best chance to win, and the universe and the football gods are going to reward you.
You don't get them right all the time.
No.
But I just laugh at, remember when Sean Payton got himself in some deep hot water saying how bad the coach that was here before left it? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, how could he say that about the – he was like, no, that dude was terrible.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Turns out he might have been right.
He was right.
Yeah.
He was right. We may not have liked it, but he was right.
Sometimes the truth is not exactly what you want to hear, but it's the truth. It's the truth nonetheless. We will hear from the man in charge of the Rams, Sean McVey. That is coming up next on the Rams Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change, is a proud sponsor of the LA Rams radio broadcast on 710 ESPN. For over 35 years, Valvoline Instant Oil Change has provided quick, convenient maintenance services for busy people. Oil changes, tire rotations, transmission care, and more. Rush into your neighborhood Valvoline and let the expert technicians make sure your ride is in peak performance. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and to score game-winning coupons off of your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Huddle up, guys. Here's the play. Get to Unified Financial Credit Union on 3. Just hit any of Unifi's 11 SoCal branches to join the winning financial team. They've got everything to tackle your financial goals. And the faster you join, the sooner you take those savings to the end zone. Plus, you'll score exclusive LA Rams experiences like chances to meet other players or tickets to a game or suite. Join online at unifyfcu.com. Break. Insured by the NCUA. Unified Financial Credit Union is the official credit union of the Los Angeles Rams.
When it comes to unique experiences, pick TickPick. You're picking the official fan experience partner of the Los Angeles Rams with no hidden fees ever. So pick TickPick for your chance to enjoy an all-exclusive experience at the TRD Pro Club at SoFi Stadium. A chance to experience the national anthem on the field or the opportunity to spend time with friends and family on the field pregame. You even have a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Rams-Eagles game November 24th. Don't let fees get between you and a great game day. Download the TickPick app and enjoy the best experiences supporting your Los Angeles Rams.
Healthcare is full of questions, and for over 80 years, Quidel Ortho has delivered answers. From one season to the next, healthcare teams around the country have trusted our medical diagnostics expertise to help them make winning decisions for their patients. From home to hospital, lab to clinic, we are a key player on patients' medical teams. And here in LA, we are proud to be an official partner of the Los Angeles Rams. Quidel Ortho, changing lives one test at a time. Learn more at QuidelOrtho.com.
Los Angeles, your Rams are the 2024 NFC West champions. If you missed out on any action this past season, don't make the same mistake and clinch your spot in the Rams house for the 2025 season. With Rams season tickets, enjoy home playoff ticket access, interest-free monthly payment plans, and stadium event pre-sale access. To experience the energy at SoFi Stadium and all these benefits, visit therams.com/2025. Again, that is therams.com/2025. Secure your Rams season tickets and don't miss out on any of the action right here at the Rams house.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Right now, for a limited time only, get 2.49% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson. See your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end January 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Don't forget you can hear every moment of Rams football in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app. Just tap that Rams game day tile, and bam, you got it in the palm of your hand. This is the Rams Postgame Show on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network, live from Hollywood Park Casino, HPC, Park Party and Play. We react right now on the Rams Postgame Show, once again from Hollywood Park Casino. Back to Travis and Kirk.
Ladies is pimps who go and brush your shoulders.
Whose house? Final regular season Sunday of the year. The Rams dropped their final game 30-25 to the Seahawks. The Rams finished 10-7, but they are your NFC West champions for 2024. They will be the number 4 seed. They will take on the loser of the Sunday night game, which kicks off in about 10 minutes from right now. The Lions and the Vikings. Rams played both of those teams, lost to Detroit on opening night in overtime, beat the Minnesota Vikings here at SoFi on a Thursday night as well. And you mentioned it, Kirk, that Sean McVey probably went back into the lab and starts getting ready for his playoff game next weekend. Can you start to do stuff without knowing exactly who you're going to play? How do you get ready knowing, or not knowing, I should say, whether it's going to be Minnesota or Detroit?
Well, you got to think it's going to be, some concepts that you're going to get a chance to look at. You'll compare what you saw in the opening game versus what they're doing now. Obviously, there will be some personnel changes for a couple of those groupings that you'll see, but think about it. T.J. Hawkinson did not play for the Minnesota Vikings the last time the Rams played the Minnesota Vikings. And when the Rams played against the Detroit Lions in the beginning of the year, Aiden Hutchinson was there. They had both running backs available. Right. They won't have David Montgomery available, so it'll be just Jahmyr Gibbs. So, again, the plays may look a little bit different, but what they're doing, they're activating Jameson Williams. Detroit Lions are. All right, you're seeing now Jordan Addison coming along. And, oh, by the way, their third receiver, Jalen Naylor, right, a Bishop Gorman kid who's now up to 6 touchdowns this year.
Well, and the Rams are a lot different, too. And obviously they're more experienced, especially on the defensive side with guys like Verse and Fisk and whatnot. But I saw it again today, and you started to see him start to work his way back into the mix over the last couple of days. Tyler Higbee is a game changer for the Rams, and he got hurt against Detroit in the playoffs last year, but here we are nearly a full year later, and he made a bunch of big plays today, got in the end zone again, Kirk, and the Rams are just a different offensive team when Tyler Higbee's a part of it.
Yeah, because he gives you the great combination of not only the blocking ability within the scheme, but then also being able to be a true hands catcher.
Yeah.
I've never seen him really catch with his body. He catches it like a wide receiver and then turns it up and makes things happen. He's not a breakaway guy, but he's a guy that gets chunk yards, and I think that's what you've seen the Rams offense look like over the last couple of weeks when he's been able to get his hands on the football.
All right, the man in charge of figuring it all out, getting ready for the Vikings or the Lions, is Sean McVey, and he spoke with JB and Maurice after the game.
Maurice Jones-Drew and JB Long back at SoFi Stadium with the head coach of your Los Angeles Rams, Sean McVey. Coach, what were some of your takeaways from a narrow defeat against the Seahawks in the regular season finale?
Just really proud of this group. I thought, I thought defensively we got some timely stops. I thought offensively we were excellent. I thought, Mike did an excellent job. I thought he mixed it really well. I thought we got the screen game going. I thought Jimmy made quick decisions. Guys made plays for him. We were able to get enough runs off, but I thought the offensive line did a good job really protecting, and it just came up short there. But I'm really proud of this football team, proud of the coaches, and now here we go next week, and we're excited about the opportunity to play a home playoff game.
Coach, talk a little bit about your depth today too. I know you said about all the guys, but defensively, a lot of your reserves played. Offensively, No Boom at left tackle did a really good job. You saw Ronnie Rivers come in when Blake Corum went down. Guys stepped up huge for you. Are those guys you think you'll be able to have to count on as this playoffs continue?
Absolutely. I think that's been big, Mo. We've gotten a lot of, I think all of our guys that have been up on game day, especially on the defensive side, have made, a bunch of different contributions. I think, Coach Shula and the defensive staff's done a great job of being able to utilize them. I was really proud of our defensive linemen. I thought Des Johnson did a great job. You kind of felt felt his presence early on, and then we were able to get some of our starters in, some of the sub-rush packages, able to create a little bit of pressure on Geno. But I was really proud of them, and then I thought, a lot of the guys that got opportunities early on in the year, especially just some of our receiver depth was on display. I thought Jordan Whittington made some big-time plays. I thought it was great to see DeMarcus catch a couple vertical routes. Tyler Johnson showed up, and you mentioned Ronnie. I thought Ronnie was really just solid, did a good job in protection. I thought Jimmy saw the field really well, got us on the 1 3rd down, but I loved his response. And, for us to move the ball up and down the field on those guys, I think it's a real credit to, all the guys. I thought the coaches, and I thought Mike did an excellent job as well.
Sean, how do you feel about your kicking game heading to the playoffs after what they've done in this closing stretch, especially here today?
Yeah, I was really pleased. I mean, Josh was outstanding, from a field goal operation, and then I think really, only had 2 punts, 51, 51.5 average, 43 net, another one inside the 20, and been really pleased with them overall. I think they're peaking at the right time.
And lastly, if there was a downside today, I imagine it's the injury to Blake. Anything you can tell us about his availability?
Yeah,
for the
he fractured his forearm, so unfortunately he'll be done. He's a tough guy. He is resilient, and he'll use this setback as a setup for a comeback, but it's a bummer for him.
Sorry to hear that. We wish you well in your preparation for Wild Card Weekend. Thank you, Sean.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, final score 30-25. The Seahawks beat the Rams, and I thought they brought up a really good point, Kirk. Josh Carty hit a 58-yarder. That would be a career best right before the end of the first half. And then on the opening drive of the second half, he had a 57-yarder. And, in the middle of the year, the Rams kicking game was kind of all over the map. But Josh Carty at least gives Sean McVey a lot of confidence in him going into the Wild Card Weekend next Saturday or Sunday.
Look, made all of his kicks as well in terms of the point afters, and then he came back and kicked another field goal, even though sometimes the harder ones are the shorter ones, and he knocked that one 30 yards. That was about 43 yards. So what maybe could have been maybe a question mark, to me, turned into a positive, and that's the big positive I take away from today, that Sean McVay feels like next week playing at home, and I know it is the playoffs, but you still got to be confident the way that Carty kicked today, that you've maybe had that opportunity to go get those points again next week.
Still waiting to find out who and when the Rams play. They will play either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, and they will play the loser of tonight's Sunday Night Football game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. They wrap up the regular season with a 30-25 loss to the Seattle Seahawks, but they are your NFC West Division champions for 2024. They finish with a 10-7 record. For Kirk Morrison, I'm Travis Rogers. We'll see you in the playoffs next week on the ESPN LA Rams Radio Network.
Thank you for listening to Rams Football.
Rams Football is presented by Call Jacob. A lot of attorneys say they'll fight for you. Call Jacob and he will win for you. Call Jacob at 844-24-JACOB or visit calljacob.com.